This is the ultimate tablet war. The Galaxy Tab S10 FE versus the iPad 11. Both bring a lot to the table, but only one can stand out on top. So don't miss this video, as today we are breaking everything down from its design, performance, gaming, and even the stylus experience. And to make things fair, I'll be scoring them in each category, and by the end of this video, you'll exactly know which tablet is more ideal for you based on your priorities. My name is Prithviraj and I create videos on productivity, tech, and life. Let's start by discussing the design of the two tablets. Both the tablets boast a very premium design. The iPad 11 brings that classic all-aluminum body with a thickness of 7mm. Very Apple-like as usual. The Galaxy Tab S10 FE counters with a slightly slimmer profile at just 6mm thickness, and it also features an all-aluminum design. However, Samsung offers something extra, and that is the IP68 rating for water and dust resistance. This makes it tougher for outdoor usage or accidental spills. We thankfully have a cellular variant for both the tablets, so if you needed SIM card support, then both the tablets will have you covered. The iPad 11 features the Touch ID on the power button, whereas we get both the fingerprint as well as face unlock on the Galaxy Tab S10 FE. Visually, both the tablets are aesthetically pleasing, so design-wise you can't really go wrong. But the durability factor gives the S10 FE a clear edge here. It makes it most suitable for rugged usage. But for this round, I'd like to give a point each to both of the tablets. As I previously mentioned, as per looks, both of them are amazing, but Samsung gets a slight edge because of the IP68 rating. Now let's talk about the most important aspect of any tablet, and that is the display. The iPad 11 features an 11-inch liquid retina LCD display with a resolution of 1640 by 2360 pixels. But sadly, it only comes in at a display refresh rate of 60Hz, and that's really disappointing, to be very honest. It also comes at a peak brightness of 500 nits. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE brings a slight smaller display, features a 10.9-inch LCD display with a resolution of 1440 by 2304 pixels. And here's the kicker. The Galaxy Tab S10 FE features a display refresh rate of 90Hz, hence the entire experience will feel much more smoother in comparison with the iPad. Scrolling will feel fluid with smoother animations, and it also has a peak brightness of 800 nits in its high brightness mode, which is a lot brighter than the iPad 11 in comparison. Overall, if you wanted a tablet for media consumption and binge watching your favorite shows on Netflix and YouTube, they both will excel in that aspect. You won't really be facing any issues for that. But for this round, I will have to give a point to the Galaxy Tab S10 FE, as the higher refresh rate will give you a much smoother experience. And speaking of media consumption, you won't have a great time binge watching experience without great audio, right? Let's talk about that right now. The iPad 11 is equipped with stereo speakers, offering decent loudness and clarity. Apple's tuning typically provides a balanced sound with clear mids and highs, making it great for casual media consumption. The Galaxy Tab S10 FE features a stereo speaker setup as well, thus delivering an immersive sound experience. While the iPad sound is good, Samsung offers a richer and a fuller audio output. It's specifically noticeable when watching movies or gaming, and it's also the louder among the two tablets. Hence, 1 point goes to the Galaxy S10 FE for the sound department. Not surprised, as Samsung really nails its audio nicely. But now the things are about to change. But before that, if you're enjoying this video so far, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. That will really help me out a lot. Now let's get into the business end of the two tablets, and let's talk performance, as this is where the things are gonna change significantly. Under the hood, the iPad 11 is powered by the A16 Bionic chipset paired with 6GB of RAM. The Galaxy Tab S10 FE runs on Exynos 1580 chipset paired with 8 or 12GB of RAM depending on which variant you get. But in terms of raw performance, the iPad 11 simply outshines the Galaxy Tab S10 FE by miles. Here are the benchmarks on Geekbench in case you're interested in that. And as you can see, the A16 chipset on the iPad simply outclasses the Samsung tablet. And if you would like to edit videos on your tablet, then the iPad is of course the better option. It will handle that quite nicely, whereas the Samsung tablet will definitely start to struggle when compared with the iPad. However, for editing photos, both the tablets will perform really well. So for this round, the iPad takes the point here based on its raw performance, as it's simply a beast in terms of that. Now the software is a major battleground. The iPad 11 runs on iPadOS 18. Apple's iPadOS is optimized specifically for tablets, offering excellent multitasking features, a clean interface, and a long track record of software support over the years, and it simply feels much more polished. Meanwhile, the Galaxy Tab S10 FE runs on a skinned version of Android 15, which is the One UI. Samsung's One UI is extremely polished and tablet friendly, with features like the Samsung Desk Mode, which will convert your tablet into a desktop-like interface. But one of the biggest aspects in which the iPadOS almost performs better is in terms of the app support. Pro apps like DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, Procreate, and others are only present on the iPad, whereas all of them are missing on Android tablets like the Galaxy S10 FE. The iPad 11 is supposed to receive a minimum of 5 major software upgrades, whereas Samsung claims a total of 7 years of software support. But this one stays a bit iffy, as in we don't exactly know if it's gonna be 7 years of Android upgrades, or rather 4 years of Android upgrades followed by a few security patches. But overall, for the software segment, I will have to give a point to the iPad for its richer and more optimized app ecosystem. Let's get into the fun stuff now. Gaming is where the iPad 11 flexes again. With the A16 chipset, you can comfortably run high-end games at high settings without major frame drops. The visuals are smooth and the gameplay is consistent. If gaming is important to you, this one is a beast. I tested out games like BGMI, Aspal, COD and a few more. The Galaxy Tab S10 FE handles most casual games just fine. Games will run decently at medium settings, but it will of course start to struggle at max graphics settings. However, one major advantage of the Galaxy S10 FE is that you will have a much smoother gameplay experience thanks to its 90Hz display. But overall for the performance, the iPad 11 gets a point over here, as the A16 chipset is better at tackling high-end games and provides us with a better gaming experience. The iPad 11 features a 12-megapixel rear camera as well as a 12-megapixel selfie camera. The Galaxy Tab S10 FE features a 13-megapixel rear camera and a 12-megapixel selfie camera. So this is the side-by-side camera comparison of both the tablets. This one is the Galaxy Tab S10 FE and this one is the iPad 11. The colors over here look more vibrant and bright, and this one kind of looks washed out, but it's more closer to real life. So this one is more vibrant and this one is like more faded kind of thing. And also the sound was currently coming from the S10 FE. Now it's coming from the iPad 11. So for this segment, it's quite tough for me to answer which one is better because they both have their own traits and it comes down to your preference. Like if you're someone who likes a more vibrant kind of colors and stuff, S10 FE is a better choice. And if you're like me who likes more muted colors and more natural like thing, then the iPad one is the better choice. So for this segment, I'll have to give a point each to both the tablets. They both have their strengths, but yeah, it's quite evenly matched. So yeah, it's a tie for this round. The battery life is great on both the tablets. The iPad 11 features a 7698 mAh battery. It delivers a pretty solid battery life, about 8 to 9 hours on full charge with mixed usage. The Galaxy Tab S10 FE features a 8000 mAh battery. It will be able to get a screen on time around 9 to 10 hours. We sadly don't get a charger out of the box with the Galaxy S10 FE, whereas we do get a charger with the iPad 11. Also, the Galaxy Tab S10 FE charges faster in comparison with the iPad 11, whereas the idle time on the iPad was much more optimized. So for the battery department, I like to give a point each to both the tablets. Finally, let's talk about the respective stylus experience. If you're looking for a tablet primarily for note-taking or maybe digital art, this is where the things get interesting. The iPad 11 supports the Type-C Apple Pencil and the first-gen Apple Pencil. Keep this in mind that you will have to buy the Apple Pencil separately, whereas you get the S Pen right out of the box with the Galaxy S10 FE. So that's definitely an added bonus. The writing experience with the Apple Pencil feels really smooth and natural, with excellent palm rejection and also near zero latency. Note-taking apps like GoodNote 6, Notability, as well as digital art apps like Procreate, these will totally elevate your experience on top of that. But sadly, the Apple Pencil doesn't really charge us magnetically. Rather, you'll require a lot of adapters if you have the first-gen Apple Pencil. The S Pen, on the other hand, attaches magnetically, and also it doesn't need to be charged. The S Pen is also super smooth and the writing feels really natural. Even if you choose not to use any third-party note-taking apps, the default Notes app on both the tablets are great options. Samsung Notes as well as Apple Notes, both are amazing. The handwriting experience on Apple Notes is not that great when compared with Samsung Notes. However, Apple gives you more options to choose from. Apps like GoodNote 6, Notability, and a few more are only there for the iPad. We do have GoodNotes for Android, but that one simply sucks. If digital art is your priority, then the iPad 11 is a better choice. Firstly, the Apple Pencil is better for more precision, and secondly, you get access to Procreate. In my experience, it's one of the best apps out there for digital art. For note-taking, both the tablets will serve you really well. They both are excellent options. But if you want to skip the hassle of getting the Apple Pencil separately, then the Galaxy S10 FE is a better choice, as you're gonna get the S Pen out of the box. Overall, I had a great writing experience on both the tablets. No issues whatsoever on both of them. This one was really tough. So for this segment, I'd like to give a point to the iPad 11, as the Apple Pencil is amazing, specifically for digital art, and also the better app support will give you more options to choose from in terms of the best note-taking apps as well as for digital art. Here's a screenshot of the current pricing of the iPad 11, and here's a screenshot of the pricing of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 FE. This is where I feel Samsung totally messed up. Even if we add up the price of the Type-C Apple Pencil, the iPad 11 is still a better deal. Hence, for the pricing segment, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but 1 point goes to the iPad 11, as it makes much more sense when compared with the Galaxy Tab S10 FE. So now it's time to ask the ultimate question. Which tablet actually wins this tablet war? The iPad 11 or the Galaxy Tab S10 FE? Here is the final scoreboard. Hopefully this will help you make a decision based on your priorities. But if you ask me, here's what I personally think. Overall, for note-taking, both the tablets are great. But if you require more raw power for gaming or maybe video editing, or rather you're a digital artist, in that case the iPad 11 is the much better choice for you. It's a performance beast and it fits right inside the Apple ecosystem. But if you're primarily looking for a tablet for media consumption, then the Galaxy Tab S10 FE can serve you well, as it features an amazing amazing display. At the end of the day, both tablets have their strengths, but the iPad 11 is the winner for this tablet war. Overall, it's a much better deal when compared with the Galaxy Tab S10 FE. I really wish it had a display refresh rate of 90Hz at least. Let me know in the comments which one you would pick and why. But in case you wanted to check out a few more options, then let me help you with that. Click here on this video to check out the comparison between the Lenovo Idea Tab Pro and the Xiaomi Pad 7. See you there.